Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Let me put some slides up on the screen. Okay, give me just 1 second. Huh, okay. And here comes the slides. In the meantime, let me say hi to a few people. I had a dental appointment and my gums are so sore. They cleaned well, I almost hate to say it plural because pretty soon it won't matter, but they cleaned the few teeth I have. I'm like, do you even want to bother? But they wanted to, so okay. Sonia Johnson, hello. Thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday, or Tooth Day, as I say. Tooth Day. There we go. And hello. Oh, by the way, Sonia Johnson, you were here first. Thank you so much for joining us. Uh, Angela Simmons, hello. Thank you for being second. Uh, Dorothy Ross, thank you. And as always, thank you for the hugs. Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Thank you. There we go. Here is the slides for today. And anyway, I'm just gonna, hey Betty, Lydia Washington, Elaine Parker, Nancy Herlock. Hello, thank you so much for being here. ASB, all right. Mackenzie, Novi D, Jennifer Smith. Anyway, I'm just gonna go all the way down to the last person, making sure that there are no super chats or super stickers along the way. Oh, my gums are so sore. Oh, okay. Let's see. I didn't know how my mouth. I didn't know how tender my mouth was until I started talking. Hold on, let me wrench my mouth. That's a little relief. Well, I tell you what, they had my mouth jacked open like an old Buick. I felt like an old Buick with the hood up. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Okay. Ouch. Oh, that's okay. I got something for it. It's called Old Granddad. I need Church Nelly to send me some of that magic elixir. Oh wow, that is tender. Congratulations, Sonia Campbell, on 16 months membership. How come I don't see that? Wow, okay, so it must be on the other screen. I'm so sorry I missed that. But thank you so much for 16 months membership. Oh, I see it now. Sonia Campbell, 16 months. How is that possible? 16 months. And you know what else is I thought was kind of weird? So I heard Anne mention how many videos she had. And I'm like, wow, that is a lot. And all right, you guys, since April 15th, 2021, Royal Sussex has, are you ready for it? How many videos do you guys think Royal Sussex has? Very quick. Anybody? How many videos? Tell me. How many videos do you think Royal Sussex has? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Royal Sussex has 884 videos. I repeat, 800. Oh, you're so close, Novi D. Kim Peaches, you're the closest. 884 videos. What in the world have I talked about for 884 videos? Well, I mean, that average is better than one a day, that's for sure. And oh wow, that is a lot. 884 videos. But wait, it gets more interesting than that. Let me tell you um how many watch hours that is. Okay, let me go to the analytics here. So in the lifetime, okay, so I made up the channel for back in 2020, May of 2020, did not use the channel. And then I had an epiphany. And so by April the 15th, tax day 2021, I said, I got to do something with that channel. I want to help Harry and Meghan. 16.6 million views, 3.6 million watch hours, and only 31,700 subscribers. Oh man, I need to get some more subscribers, don't I? So yeah, so that's it. 16.6 million views. How about that? Anyway, let's get on with Royal Sussex for today. Well, somebody's been as busy as a cat covering up poop, huh? Oh, and speaking of somebody's been busy, thank you so much. I didn't get a chance to look at the name yet, but someone sent me another bell. I got another bell. So thank you so much. So I'm going to keep one bell for when I'm away from home. And then the other bell, I promise I won't remove from my desk. So I am very grateful because I did leave my bell behind while I was seeing my family. And anyway, glad to have a second bell. So thank you so much. All right. So let me see here. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You don't say. Uh-huh. You don't say. All right. Well, actually, you didn't say. I'm just saying that. Okay. So let's get on with it. You guys, once again, I have way too much stuff to talk about. So I am going to get on with it. And I feel so bad too because Ann wanted to call in yesterday when she was in the chats, but I don't think I even have time today. I don't know. For some reason, I probably prepare more stuff than I really should. But, things that are interesting to me, I always feel like I want to just put it out there. So I don't really have a voice in my head that says, why don't you just talk about that tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. But you guys that have been listening, like, let's see, Sonia Campbell, you've been listening to me for well over 16 months, I'm sure. You know how my man worked. What? I tell you, that's a lot of listening to me. I don't know if I would recommend it, but since you've gone through the trouble, I appreciate it. And thank you always for your support. So thank you, Sonia Johnson, for 16 months. All right. Okay. Uh, oh, I should just do this, right? There we go. All right. So someone has let slip the veil. If you ask me, someone has let slip the veil. The mean girl has been trying to portray herself as this very kind and genteel and, dare I say, matriarch of the country. I don't know how Kate Middlebaum, I mean, say what you want to about the Queen. The Queen was not throwing her behind out of the window every time she heard somebody coming up the street. I don't know too many people who threw their behind out. I don't know too many people, and certainly no one in my circle. Okay, I'm assuming a lot when I say that, but no one in my circle has ever thrown their behind. Well, wait a minute. Was that me? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you just don't meet too many people that will throw their behind out the window because they thought they heard some boys coming up the street. Even I haven't done that. And believe me, oh man. So anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I mean, I do, but I'm having too much fun. I have been having so much fun the past couple days. I have been having too much fun, but let me see here. Do I have it right here? Oh nope, that's not it. Let me try it over here. Okay. Ah, wunderbar. There we go. Oh wait, no, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, got it. Uh Nah, never mind. Never mind. Let me see here. Well, let me try this. Okay. The Queen, and this is one of my favorite things ever. So, anyway, get ready for it, you guys. Here it comes. 1992. I love that 1992 speech. Hi, Elaine Parker, Lucy Wynn, Patty, Mo Shannon, Maureen Reed, Fancy. Mom, I'm sorry, Anastasia Isabella. Can I call you Mom, though? Gerda Sifrin, Educate You Too, Dale Beeves. Anyway, that just reminds me of that Get Out. So, the very sinister duo right there, Kate and Sophie, they have struck up quite a friendship over the years. How close they are, one couldn't tell. I mean, like for instance, do they ever visit one another's house? But so Kate is supposed to be able to take the reins of power as soon as the queen is gone. Well, the queen is gone, but so far, it doesn't seem like she has the power. It seems like she's got the power. And of course, once the Sussexes were gone, they were trying to sell us on this idea that Sophie was, well, Sophie and Uncle Pennywise was ready to take over. Oh my goodness, I don't want that responsibility. Luisa Pena. I don't want that responsibility. I'm the one that needs help. I can assure you. I'm the one that needs help. Anybody looks at me can tell I need some help. Oh, the Ford Escort. Okay, so she's no longer the Fiesta. She's an Escort now. Oh, wait, that sounds weird. But all right, so let me get here. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? I don't know why when I saw this during the funeral, well, not just me, but everybody got that chill when they saw this photo because it seems to have, I don't know, drawn a reaction. And of course, the reaction is just what you see on the screen right there. She reminds me of a Disney villain. Except the thing is, I'm always so amazed that more people don't see her shadier side. Now, listen, guys, I'm going to say this again. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody. How do I put this? Am I a bit put off with the way that the Duchess of Sussex has been treated? Of course. Does it bother me the way Harry has been treated his whole life? You betcha. All of those things are true at the same time. The other thing that's true is I don't hate anybody, but as part of, as someone say, therapy, I need to vent my frustrations the only way I know how, and that is to do a little dragging. But she's not alone because the other scowl faced royal woman in the driver's side seat, they're in Britain, so that's the driver's side seat. That, of course, is Camilla, Cruella de Vil, Camilla. Both of them together, you just really don't know what's going on there. And the Queen, poor Betty. You know, back in the day, the Queen was a certain type of figure, but as she got older, it seems like she didn't really have much control over what was going on. Now, a lot of you guys have cautioned me, oh, Baron, that's not true. She was in on everything. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the next book, and I hope that there is some clarity. But the truth is, we may never find out. But the thing is, Queen Elizabeth is gone, and so there's these two now. And one down, one to go. When I saw that picture on the left side, I screamed. I mean, look at her. Her eyes just say it. One down, one down, one to go. And of course, if you look behind her, the woman who's going to spend the rest of her life walking in her footsteps, of course, Ford Fiesta, she's just glad to have a new title. Otherwise, she has been the Countess of Wessex since 1999. Do you guys know that the euro, when she first married into that family, the Germans were still using Deutschmarks. When she first married into that family, the Italians were using lira. The French were using francs. And all these years later, the European Union is no longer, should I say, Britain is no longer a member state of the European Union. And the other thing that has changed is now she is finally the Duchess of Edinburgh. Edinburgh. So, all right. They always say Kate never puts a foot wrong. But when they say that, they do not mean her fashions. Now, as I felt like I was in the mood to drag a bit today, what in the lampshade dresses is this? Proving Adam was never her friend. Is it Erdem? Am I saying it right? Erdem was never her friends. So I'm telling you, on the Twitter streets, there was all types of things going on. So when I saw that tweet, I said, okay, let me try to find a lampshade. So I did. I found a lampshade to complement that particular photo that person who, I don't even know if that's a squatty or not, but anyway, it was someone who saw the obvious and wanted to share it. And then, of course, I wasn't finished with the lampshade. I said, curtains, anybody? Because as you guys know, Kate is good. Oh, thank you so much, Marcy Foreman. You remember country cottage kitchen curtain dress on full display. Thank you, Marcy Foreman. Yes, Kate's country cottage kitchen curtains on full display. I've never seen a woman so devoted to country cottage kitchen curtains. I mean, when you look at that dress, it just looks like something that ought to be billowing out of somebody's window in their country cottage in the Cotswolds. Ooh, I just added another one, Marcy. Kate's country kitchen, wait, Kate's Cotswold country cottage kitchen curtains. Okay, we probably won't use the Cotswold. That's too much. But anyway, so that is one of the things that the Twitter streets have brought to us. And then there's this. As I was going through, as Thomas Markle would say, my father just had a stroke, and well, I was over at the house and I was going through, like that's what you do when somebody have a stroke, right? You go to their house, alleged a stroke. What did I say? Alleged a stroke, an alleged stroke. That's what you do is you go to their house and you go through it, whatever that means, whatever through it means, right? So I go back onto those Twitter streets, and someone seems to have found a bedspread, a comforter, pillowcases, all the works to match Kate. Wait, Kate's country. That's a tongue twister. Kate's country cottage kitchen curtains directly from the Cotswolds. I tell you, you can always count on those Twitter streaks. All right. And then, of course, I found a Deranger. Wait, a Deranger account. I was about to say a Deranger. Anyway, tongue twister today. I found a Deranger account, and this particular, and I know you guys won't believe this, but Kate does have fans. As a matter of fact, this person seems to think that there is nothing that Kate can't do. You see there, it says the princess that can do anything. And when I saw that can do anything, I'm like, where have I heard that before? Where have I heard you could do anything? I'm sure you guys remember, don't you? So I would be remiss, and I don't even know what that means, but I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that Kate can do anything. As a matter of fact, she stammered it out of her mouth not long ago, didn't she? I'll remind you.
People who aren't necessarily reaching out, who are struggling, who perhaps don't feel they can reach out, or the fact that maybe they haven't realized that addictive behaviors has sort of established.
Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything? Have you ever had a dreams that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
Well, maybe. So let's kind of go through the list of things that Kate can't do. Well, let's say it's not that she can't do them, but she just can't do them so well. All right, so she can be a royal duchess, princess of Wales by day, and then on the weekend she can dress up in camouflage and go out there and cosplay soldiering, right? Okay, so she's been able to do that. And maybe she can't really dress that well. Okay, so maybe Kate can dress up like a soldier on the weekends and cosplay. Maybe she can do the Royal Duchess, Princess of Wales thing, but can she dress? I say nay. We've seen Kate's brand of dressing, and it leaves a lot to be desired, whether she's cosplaying Mary Poppins or even Sarah Vine has pointed out to us, Duchess of Drab is the mystery of the cosmos. How does a beautiful woman make designer outfits look so frumpy? Well, all I could say is maybe Kate can do it. That's right. Maybe Kate can do it. That Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And happy Tuesday to you. So yes, that is how that is done. I guess maybe you just have to you have to know how to cosplay on the weekend, but dressing up not so much. All these years, and I do mean a lot of years, and a lot of wealth. Now, the Prince of Wales, the newly minted Prince of Wales, is a billionaire. He has a multi-billion-dollar fortune with the Duchy of Cornwall. Will that increase the clothing allowance? Will that bring in the glam squad? I don't know. I kind of think she's been using one already, but it hasn't seemed to yield any results. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Tuesday to you. And again, thank you so much for being a member. Always appreciate it. And Leg says, Kate, maybe B, has to be the worst Barbie ever. Yes, I would agree. For someone so tall and slender, the assumption is, of course, you could wear just about anything, right? Like little mini Kate says, you can maybe you can do anything you want. Well, dressing not so much. Like for instance, when you select a pair of trousers, try to get some trousers that don't look like you're coming and going at the same time. You know what I mean? I still haven't figured out which direction she's walking with those tan trousers, those culottes she got on. I still don't know which direction she's walking. So I would say that when one purchases a pair of trousers, try to get some that are, one directional or single or whatever. So anyway, thank you so much, Legs, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, and thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. And let's see here. Just petty today, just absolutely petty. Up in the valley of the Jolly Green Giant. Hi, Sprout. Wasn't that the name of the little Jolly Green Giant, Sprout? Hi, Sprout. Okay, so, and then of course, let us not forget that jacket she has with the cutout. Well, I guess maybe if you used to throw your behind out the window, you need that cutout just to feel, at home. You know what I mean? Maybe that makes her feel, it's like a way of reminiscing about those old college days when you can have that little cutout in the back to remind you of St. Andrews or wherever she used to do that. Uh, oh man, yeah, maybe that's what the cutout is for. It's reminiscent of those old college days, and I do hope it was college. But let us not forget.
In a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now. Yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
Right? It's Meghan. So, okay. And then, of course, one of the most simplistic things in the world that anyone is expected to do. Okay, yes, the person said that Kate is capable of anything, but there's just certain articles of apparel that most of us have mastered over the years, and Kate seems to have. Well, she doesn't seem to know how to. Oh, let me just put it to you like this: one leg at a time, okay? One leg at a time, and of course, the Queen, they said the Queen used to have fishing weights sewn into her clothing so that she wouldn't have those wardrobe malfunctions. So there's two things going on there. One, you need to know that you're supposed to wear this. Actually, there's a layer of clothing that should go on before anything else. Okay, I'll just say that. The other thing is you could have those weighed down so they're not laying over your shoulder or flapping up against the back of your head or flying up in your face, or you know what I'm saying? So, okay, that's another one that she hasn't been able to do. But remember, this person said Kate can do anything. And how about dressing up like movie characters, whether it's Minnie Mouse or Scarlett O'Hara? whether it's whether I know Sean, it is so tawdry. And then whether it's Minnie Mouse or Scarlett O'Hara, I'll say this much for Kate. She has quite a spectrum of characterizations that she's capable of, whether it's appealing to the children or the romantics in the community. Kate has it all covered. So if there's ever a remake or a reboot of Gone with the Wind and they change the name to Gone with the Windsors, Kate is in. Okay. And then, of course, doing one's hair. Kate does have a glam squad, but uh, Kate should never be allowed to do her own hair. The other thing that Kate shouldn't try to do is to choose a portrait artist. Now, back in 2012, Paul Elmsley was handpicked by Catherine. You know what? They really need to see if that Elmsley is a Republican, I mean, a British Republican, because look at what he's done. Paul Elmsley painted the official portrait of Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, official royal portrait. Well, notice we have never seen that portrait before. They say it is hidden in the rafters. You know how they have those wooden beam rafters? They said it's sitting on top of a rafter somewhere in the ceiling of the National Portrait Gallery. It is hidden. It has been stored away for the ages. But at the time, there was much to be said about it. And, well, I tell you what, sometimes it seems like Kate doesn't know what to do with her mouth. And it seems like the portrait artist, he didn't know what to do with her mouth either. So I'm just going to write that down. It's just another thing that Kate the Magnificent, because I'm telling you, this person said that Kate can do anything. How about her eyebrows? Kate should never be allowed to do her own eyebrows. Kate used to do her brows herself, and all hell broke out. As a matter of fact, on occasion, she still does her own eyebrows. As you can see, I'm going to say my favorite look was August 2004. Since then, she's been plucking and plucking and plucking and growing and plucking and growing and plucking and plucking and growing and plucking and growing. Boy, I hope I never mix those words up. And plucking and woo! Somebody woke up on the wrong side of shady. Iris Demonia says was channeling the Disney princess wardrobe. Thank you, Iris Demonia. Let's see here. Yes, she is channeling Walt Disney. Absolutely. And remember, it is a small world after all. Okay. All right. So let's put that down on the list of things that Kate should not be allowed to do. Even though she's capable of so much, we won't let her dress herself. We won't let her do her own hair. We won't let her select artists or pluck her eyebrows. Do you guys think there's anything left that Kate can do or shouldn't do? I would say let's stick with the eyebrows for now. When she does let them grow, she goes into full Groucho Marx. I don't know what she was thinking when that happened, but and I'm pretty sure the Queen's reaction when she noticed them was something like this. Good heavens! I'm sure that was the Queen's reaction when she saw those eyebrows. Okay. And then, of course, Kate going to select a hat never turns out that well either. Like, for instance, the day of when she was supposed to try to sock it to Meghan. Remember how Meghan gave everybody a lesson in that family about how you're supposed to dress? Remember that? So Kate had saw that Meghan had owned the weekend. You remember that? Meghan had the red, the teal, and then of course she showed up at the Westminster Abbey for that very last Commonwealth before they stepped back, and Kate wore this. I know, Berta Sanchez. So HR8, I'm awakened. Um, said I'm going to get hell for this. Um, well, I say that it was genius, and of course I use it all the time. But it does kind of remind me of Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies. Okay, okay. So you guys, let's get back on track here. Kate Middleton is royal family's last hope against Harry and Meghan star quality, right? That is what they said in the mirror. What a disservice. Okay, spring statement. Where's Mummy's money? I'm afraid she's taken it with her and I'm giving it to me. And of course, you can see this cartoon has monarchy, the most tax efficient way to die. So, as you guys know, that has been an issue as of late. Is well, not an issue for us because it doesn't affect us. But the thing is, poor Andrew is furious because he knows Mummy left a fortune to Charles, but that's the way it goes. That primogeniture or whatever, um, the estate must remain intact, and so the Duchy of Lancaster and all of that remains intact. I don't know how the Queen had some $600+ million or £1,000,000 when she died. I'm still trying to figure out how did Philip have 30 million pounds when he died. And embarrassment for Charles. Richard Eden, yes, one of those dickies, has confirmed Oxford University snubs King Charles. Oxford University says, no, we won't move our students' graduation date from the coronation day. Well, all this time, Charles has been trying to celebrate the coronation conveniently on Archie's birthday. Well, what do you know? Not only are there no official scheduled parties for the coronation in all of Scotland, the other thing is there are a lot of places in Scotland that just refuse to close. And then, of course, there's this the university, the Oxford University. Is there any other more English institution? Oxford. I mean, how many world leaders have once gone to Oxford? Oxford was like, no, we're not changing the date. And so, in spite of the coronation, something that they haven't seen since Halley's Comet, do you know at the rate that things are, Halley's Comet is about as frequent as a royal coronation? What is Halley's Comet, about every 70 or 76 years or so? So, so the Halley's Comet and the coronation have a lot in common. So the big difference is a lot of people will rush out of their homes and look up in the sky to watch Halley's Comet. There's going to be about, maybe 5 or 10 royalists in individual boroughs that are going to sit around their old transistor tube televisions, the ones with the old vacuum tubes. They're going to sit in front of their old televisions and They're going to watch the coronation on the same televisions that they bought back in the 1950s to watch the Queen's coronation. So they're going to watch the coronation on the same tellies that they watched the Queen. That's how old the general audience for the coronation will be. Everybody else is going to ignore it. I told you already, you guys, I am going to watch. I will share whatever I think is important or relevant, like when they put that holy oil on them and they start to convulse and smoke pours out of their ears. That I will share with you. But otherwise, I don't blame you guys for skipping it. Totally your choice, but I am going to do my thing. So right now, they have the holy oil or prepared. They're using olive oil from the Mount Olive in Jerusalem, and those holy men are actually blessing the oil, which will be used for the head of the church and his and his wife, the Queen consort. So I got to watch that. I've never seen an exorcist live on television, so this is going to be a twofer. It is going to be a coronation and most likely an exorcism, because believe me, once they start laying that holy oil, at least one or two of them are going to have a reaction. And so they're going to have to do a coronation and an exorcism all on the same day. Oh my goodness. I'm having too much fun with this. You know that. Exactly. There will be fire. There will be fire. If Camilla turns her head completely around, like The Exorcist, what was the girl's name in The Exorcist? Something Blair. Um, if Camilla turns her head all the way around and start spitting up green stuff, I'll probably turn it off. But it doesn't necessarily mean that she's like having a demonic moment. According to the Globe, she can't put those beverages down, so it might just be a hangover. I don't know, but I'm going to watch. It'll be interesting. Okay, so, and even Good Morning America. Do you remember the same Good Morning America that wouldn't let Amy Robach do that report about you know who, because it may have involved Andrew? That same Good Morning America had a segment talking about King Charles under fire, right? See, you were already right, Connie Balmer. You said there would be fire. Well, King Charles seems to be the one under fire. Yes, on the Good Morning America, they actually spoke about King Charles III. How embarrassing for Charles. This is like, all right, they cannot find performers, right? Only Lionel Richie, because it was reported he once received money from the Prince's Trust, or somehow he was involved with it. And then, of course, you have this with all these protesters. So not an easy go of it for Charles. Not exactly the situation that he thought he'd be in. And of course, all spares, not heirs. I love her. Anti-monarchy protesters gather outside of Westminster Abbey on Monday afternoon. Well, they did, and as you can see, the world has taken notice. And then if you take a look here, some of the signs, you guys, take a look at that sign: slavery, empire, bloodline. And I saw another one that said something about colonization further down there. But these are just a few screenshots that I grabbed from the computer. Now, Cobra Emergency, that is a YouTube channel. They're not political at all. They're not royalists, but all they ever show is like presidential motorcades, royal motorcades, whatever. That is any type of procession like that is what they share. So they're not into the politics of it. However, they are a good source that you can reference when you want to see a different angle of things. And so, of course, this is a different angle from what we've seen otherwise. And then, of course, now you guys, full disclosure, I did watch the what do they call it? The Commonwealth Day. Now, to be fair, I did want to see a couple things, and I knew I would find something. Now, I skipped through major parts of it. Like anytime someone was speaking, I just skipped to the next person. I didn't even listen to what they said. I skipped to the next person. So I was through it in no time. But the entering and the exit is what I was most curious about. So these people are Maoris from New Zealand. And no doubt the Maoris were going to do their performance. As you can see, some of them don't even have shoes on, and it's not that warm out there. So, you guys, I'm going to just tell you like this. This Commonwealth Day was DOA. It was DOA. It was dead on arrival. And I'm not a musician, but I know when something doesn't sound right. You would have thought that an 8th grade band had performed God Save the Queen or God Save the King. It sounded horrible. They did something where they changed the orchestration, and it was awful. It didn't have that pageantry like they used for the Queen. So let me tell you, let me get to this really quick so that you guys can get to the point faster. This is the newly minted Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, right? So, with as among the senior royals, they were the first to arrive. The Maoris began to do their tribal dancing and singing or whatever. And fine. They stopped and politely watched. And then, of course, here comes the Cambridges. Now, of course, the Waleses. When the Prince and Princess of Wales showed up, Kate turned to wave to the crowd. And when she turned to wave to the crowd, it was very short. She realized that there were few friendly faces. You guys, this was awful. This was awful. It was awful. You would not believe how dead it was. It was so dead. There was no big whooping and hollering and Kate. None of that. None of that. I am willing to wager you that if it wasn't for the protesters and the few well-wishers, there wouldn't have been anybody there. I mean, do you see anybody's mouth open yelling or screaming or anything like that? It did not happen. I watched several different angles, hoping to pick up a sound from someplace else. Nothing. And then take a look at the Maoris. You know what they're doing right now? Nothing. Don't ask me why. Let me go back. I promise you. I'm just telling you, you could check it out for yourself or not. They started performing for them even before the car stopped. When it got to them, they just stood there like those people at the BAFTA Awards. Not a sound. And if you notice, their arms are to their side. They're smiling, but nobody's singing. I don't know why that happened. I have no idea why that happened. I don't know if there was some kind of protocol, that you would sing for two of the lesser royals, and then when the next pair come through, nothing. I said, boy, that's strange. Okay, fine. And then when Charles and Camilla shows up, look at them. They're singing again. I was like, what the, what the? So you can see all the yellow signs. I'm going to just wager you that with so few British flags, and look at there, you don't hardly see any Union Jacks, do you? Where's the Union Jacks? Where are the Union Jacks? And so the other thing that people are saying, now it was windy, and the Queen Consort was having quite a time out there. Everybody was succumbing to the wind. And for some reason, she thought it was a good idea to wear this coat that is all flaring out and everything, right? So she didn't stop. She didn't even say hello. She got out the car and made it as fast as she could inside of Westminster Abbey. So some people are saying that that was very rude. Not rude that she didn't say hello, rude that she would take a chance on somebody seeing her bloomers. That was rude. Please don't even give me the anxiety. Don't make me think that I'm going to see your knickers on any occasion. I don't want to. I'm sure they are quite provincial, but I don't ever want to see your drawers, old lady. So please do like the Queen and have them sew some weights into the bottom of your coat or something. But this was absolutely. Oh, Margarita Taylor, did you see it? I mean, it was, yeah, there was plenty booze, but there was nobody shouting for them at all. And then when Charles left, this is Charles leaving Westminster Abbey. I mean, you guys, if this is any indication of what is coming for the royal family, if this is a clue, if this is the least clue of what they could expect, it's downhill from here. Look at Charles cutting his look at Charles cutting his eyes over at the crowd. Look at him. It's pathetic. And everybody knows, yes, Church Nelly. And you know what? This event was absolutely tragic without Harry and Meghan. Now, back in 2017, William skipped. Look at this. Running to freedom, right? Notice the contrast. They are leaving because they're free. Look at this. Charles looks like he is about to pass some kidney stones. I mean, it's just the contrast between the Sussexes leaving and Charles leaving. Incredible. Charles should be happy. He has waited as long as the coming of Halley's Comet for this position. He's waited as long as Halley's Comet to be king. And this is it. The rendition of God Save the King was dreadful. It lasted about an hour. It was the performances, as per usual, from different, but everything about this was just so dated. It was dated from the time they pulled up in a state Bentley to the time they left, and Charles ran smack into a sea of signs saying, "Not my king." A whole wall of signs calling him a colonizer. This is what Charles saw on his way out of Westminster Abbey. And this is another angle, you guys. Take a look at this. This is another angle. I showed you this yesterday. You would think that the what do you call it? The Commonwealth Day and the excitement that they have tried to build up around the Cambridges or the Welleses, all of that stuff, you would have thought that this would have been just the biggest thing ever. Nothing. You could see the pavement. There's polite curiosity. And I wonder how many of those people, look at all of the rough, what do they call it? Rucksacks? We call them backpacks. But look at all the bags. Those, let me see, this was a Monday. Some of them may have been students just on their way, but it looks like tourists. This looked like the same people that you would see outside of Buckingham Palace. You always hear people say, oh, I never go down there. That's for the tourists. You guys, there is no there there. There is no there there. My internet is glitchy. Yeah, it's in its last days. It's in its last days. We're seeing, hey, Shelly L., we are seeing the very end of an era. Wow. I mean, again, the contrast of Charles at his first Commonwealth event. Ain't that something? Not my king. What a contrast. And just a week before it happened, I looked up Commonwealth Day, and this is what I got. I see the first thing that greets me is pictures of the Sussexes. Now, they had a Commonwealth in 2020. That was the last before the pandemic. And I think they've had at least one since. This is not the first time back. So, yeah, dead on arrival, you guys. Dead on arrival. And then, of course, this is what we didn't see. And I found this on the social media. Activists from Republic had gathered outside holding placards stating, not my king. Large crowds of protesters gathered on Westminster Bridge. You see that? What about the people that were on Westminster Bridge trying to shut down the traffic? Now, you guys, for a city the size of London, let's be for real. This is not huge. But it's not so much that they are there. What is interesting is how many other people did not show up. The lack of well-wishers, the lack of enthusiasm for the newly minted king. Now, let me go back there 1 second, you guys. Take a look there. I'm going to leave it there for a second and look at some of your comments. Baron, the British media is not showing the protesters on TV. In fact, they are silent. I have not seen any reporting on the booze. Okay, but they were there. They were there. Well, as a matter of fact, where's my video from yesterday? Where is my video from yesterday? Oh, sorry about that. I kind of messed that one up. But yeah. So there you go. There was no like screaming when Charles emerged from the car, just more not my king. That was incredible. And you know, like on other occasions when they start yelling like a bunch of cult figures, God save the king. God save the king. Somebody's throwing eggs. God save the king. That didn't happen either. That did not happen either. So, wow, Charles, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, boo? What are you going to do? Michael Miller says, I think a lot of people there were hoping to get a glimpse of Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. You got that right. You got that right. Let's see. Margarita says it was bad. No one was there. I think people are starting to wake up to their nonsense against the Sussexes. I'm sure this has a lot to do with the Sussexes. Meghan brought a lot of young people toward that family. And once they ran the Sussexes out of the country, once they tried to dim the light of hope for that institution, Meghan, that was the end. That was the end. Old Betty has gone, and so goes the monarchy. Sela, yeah, that looks like it. The monarchy became identified with the Queen more so than the institution. And as a lot of people have been saying, that was a bad move to allow the Queen to be the identity of the institution. Now, if they would have made Meghan a standard bearer for the Commonwealth, if Harry would have continued his work, as Harry was the most popular royal, well surpassing the Queen for quite some time, if that would have continued, then there wouldn't be a problem today. If people would have seen what people were hoping to see was that the Sussexes and the Cambridges could be like the television show Friends, just running around doing good and supporting each other. Well, since they didn't want to portray themselves as friends to the world, people lost interest. One of the appeals of Friends wasn't how they plotted against each other, it was how they loved each other. And if it did not have that, it wouldn't have been a show. It was like having brothers and sisters, being a part of a very prosperous family. Well, here it was the opposite. You have this one pitted against that one. And so the tabloid media, with this narrative trying to pit one against the other, has actually doomed the institution. Compton Caligal says, I'm happy to know that people in attendance had a chance to see the protesters. Yeah, absolutely. It seemed like the numbers were equal. And I know that was just a, given perspective, but it almost seems like the numbers were equal. And let me see from yesterday, I saw a notification that they put online. And I forget, I think the notification was only up for a couple of days. This right here. Protest, Not My King, Westminster Abbey, Monday 13, 1 p.m. This wasn't even online that long. The big protest is the 5th. Is it the 5th or 6th of May? Whatever Archie's birthday is. That's the big day of the protest. This, I think, was kind of a last minute thing, like within a couple of days. And within a couple of days, they have managed to do this. They managed to do, where is it? This. I mean, look at that. There should be more people there. This looks like, aside from the protesters, this looks like a royal carol. It's so embarrassing that they're trying to build up all of this enthusiasm for Will and Kate, and it just has not materialized. It is not to be seen. And I have to say, I am rather enjoying it. And speaking of Will and Kate, I got some more about them. A little shady, but very truthful, I think. Camilla looks so stupid and guilty. Charles looked apprehensive. He have done so much for so long to hurt and treating folks wrong. Thank you so much for that, Eva. That is a certainty. Charles has been known to be very, very petty and also indecisive. When you really need him to take a stand, when you need him to protect his family, he wouldn't do it. He has never really protected any of them. I think it was probably more the Queen and the Queen Mother that protected William. Nobody was protecting Harry. And of course, the mother of the future Queen of England, obviously, nobody was protecting Diana. They took her security away and then tried to make people believe that it was Diana who refused the security. That's what I thought for a long time. I thought, oh, well, she probably didn't want them spying on her. They took her security. When they took her HRH, they took her security. Taking the HRH was the excuse to take away her security. And so, and you guys, let me remind you of something too. The funeral for Princess Diana was supposed to be a family occasion. I repeat, Princess Diana's funeral was supposed to be a family occasion for the Spencers. The Queen wasn't going to do anything. She was like, well, it ain't got nothing to do with us. She was not supposed to have a state funeral. None of that was supposed to happen. It was the pressure of the public, that made that happen. So the royal family had to yield to the public. And again, the royal family seems to be suffering because they failed to read the room. They do not see how bad this situation was, where Harry and his wife, they just never wanted him to be happy. And it's so obvious. This idea from these old royalists that are dying out at an alarming rate, but this idea from the old royalists that Harry should have just stayed in there and dealt with it and got on with it, like they're trying to convince us that the Edinburghs, where is that from the other day? Harry and Meghan might take note. Prince Edward bounced back from royal knockout in Sophie's PR scandal with hard work, knuckling under. I'm just being funny. Knuckling down and getting on with his role without fanfare. Experts say, here we go. Experts say proof you can be welcomed back into the fold. Now, I don't know if this is some kind of weird trolling or signal to try to get the Sussexes to come back, or at least to try to make it seem as though the family is being reasonable. So maybe things like what you see on the screen wouldn't happen anymore. Maybe these kind of things would go away if it looks like, oh, well, we tried, but Harry and Meghan, they're so unreasonable. People know what the truth is. People know what happened. There is a unknown majority, a silent majority of people that are not actively going out there defending Harry and Meghan. And I'm talking about in Britain. There's a silent majority of people who know how that system works. And some of them are those people that say, well, she should have known better. Some of those people don't necessarily dismiss what has happened, but they're not so sympathetic because, you know, most people just assume everybody knows how that family is. And so because people are so desensitized to the Windsors and the ways of the Windsors, it's so easy to blame the victim of the Windsors, the victims of the tabloid newspapers. It makes it so much easier to blame the victim when you can try to stand there and say, oh, they should have known better. No, that's not an answer, because at the root of it, no matter what someone should have known or what they didn't know or whatever, the bottom line is Harry has a human right, has human rights like anybody else, and his right to procreate, his right to be happy, to be in love, to prosper as a person. I don't care what system he was born into, the crown does not come first. His happiness comes first. If something like the crown prevents someone from having individual happiness, then there shouldn't be a crown. There doesn't need to be a royal family if that excludes any member of that family from being happy. As Harry said, but that doesn't make sense. Just because you went through it doesn't mean that I should have to go through it. Doesn't mean my children should have to suffer. What kind of sense does that make? And Harry, who's supposed to be so unaware and so ignorant to the ways of the world, I think he spelled that out perfectly. What was Rishi Sunak doing in the U.S. meeting with President Biden and Australian Prime Minister? I hope he's not begging aid for Shutter Island after they didn't listen and chose Brexit. We need all our money here. Black Queen, I don't know if Rishi Sunak realizes this, but President Biden is very proud of his Irish heritage. Oh, man. Listen, number one, thank you so much for your comment. But you have just reminded me about something. After the Second World War, Winston Churchill thought that Franklin Roosevelt, while Roosevelt was alive, he didn't see the end of the war. But during the war, there was two different agendas going on. The United States was looking to assert itself as the new superpower. And of course, to make that happen, there was not going to be a British Empire anymore. Franklin Roosevelt decided that there was not going to be a British Empire. And so Rishi Sunak, when he went to Washington, trust me when I say this, all that stuff about the special relationship, the past, present, and future American presidents don't give a toss about that. They want the U.S. to be number one no matter what. Just like any other country, they only have their best interests at heart. Just like Britain, we have gone to war to flex our powers as a country. I don't agree with those wars. I don't like the idea of lost lives like that, but it has happened. And so whatever Rishi Sunak expects to get, I would say he ought to hope he can come away with half of it. And that's even asking for a lot. I'm so glad you told me that. I knew that Biden was going to have some words later today, but I had no idea that Rishi Sunak was coming. Interesting. Well, and remember, Obama said, don't do the Brexit. The United States does not have a firm trade agreement with the British. The bad thing about the Brexit is that it requires all new trade deals to be negotiated. And so the United States trade deal with the European Union no longer includes Britain. It does not have any language that I know of that is helpful to Britain. What a dumb thing to do. What a dumb thing to do. And as usual, it's the working class people that are paying the big price. Boy, I tell you, what a weird time we're in. Well, you guys, thank you so much for your comments. Let me get on with this because I still got so much to cover. But what a weird time. Susie Q says, hey, Baron, there's another person in the chat with the same name as mine. It's only spelled differently. I don't want any mix-up. What can I do about that? I wonder if she is is a hiding deranger. Susie Q, oh, I see what you mean. Oh, my goodness. So Susie Q, This is quite a bit of a quandary. I could see that. Oh yeah. Well, I tell you what, I will look into that later. Susie Q, uh, you know, Susie Q, member of Royal Sussex. I'll definitely look into it. And Susie Q, who is not a member of Royal Sussex, I hope you come here in peace because we don't tolerate any trolls here. So, but I will work it out. I promise. I will work it out. But yes, that's interesting. I hadn't noticed that. And by the way, Susie Q, thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex, and happy Tuesday to you. And thank you for the super chat and for pointing that out. Light Side of the Moon has a super sticker. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Tuesday to you. Okay, you guys, I got so much to catch up to, so let me get moving here. Thank you all for your, let me see here. Ooh, wait until Rishi Sunak get to the White House and see all them black people working there. Wait till he get to the White House and see all them black people working there. Ooh, that's going to come as a shock to him. Let me see. Compton Caligal says, I'm going to send a message to, what is it, Instagram? To Biden about Sunak and his modern day slavery comments. You do that. You do that. You know what would be so much fun? Who is the writer? Is it, what's her name? Something Gay. The writer for the New York Times that wrote the disparaging article about Britain and colonization and all that kind of stuff. Remember how upset they got? Wouldn't it be fun if she was there? Hey, Lauren Brown, thanks for being here. Okay, so, let me see here. Okay, that's just what I was looking for, Instagram person. That is just what I was looking for. You know me so well. Oh my goodness, somebody posted, I should, well, actually, I have that photo already. Okay, I'll take care of that later. Thank you so much. Okay, so is next. Warning, gaslighting detected. You guys, gaslighting. So when something like this happens, right? When something like this happens, there you have to change the subject. Usually they would, oh, Roxanne Gay, thank you so much. That is the New York Times writer. When something like this happens, best to change the subject. So here we go. The Prince and Princess of Wales were caught exchanging flirtatious looks during the annual Commonwealth celebration, with Kate making a telling gesture of happiness, a body language expert believes. Woo! Like I told you, I skipped through a great deal of the Commonwealth Day thing. Every time there was a new speaker, a new singer, I skipped through it. I basically wanted to see the opening and the closing. I did. Everything that I saw was pretty dead, lackluster, boring. Aside from that, whatever they are referring to as some type of gesture, loving gesture between the two of them, I could only imagine that they were making fun of whoever was performing. I'm just saying, I did not see it for myself. Now, as I poured through that article, hoping that they would back up those words with photos, I could not find one single photo that supports the idea that there was some type of connection between the two of them. But just as I would always do in the past, I'm going to do it again today. This is the Cambridges. Now they're called the Welleses, but this is the Cambridges exchanging loving glances and gestures with one another. When you're this close, you tend to recoil from your partner and look at them with disdain. Doesn't everybody do that? Sure they do. Hello, Ivy here. Ivy! Ivy is in the house. Ivy, I am in the middle of your Sunday podcast. I haven't finished it yet, but I am in the middle of it and we'll finish it soon. Thank you so much for the work that you do for the squad. And of course, take a look here. These tender glances, one looking down at the tiles of the floor and the other looking at the camera with a great deal of anguish. That is the loving glances that is so, typical of the Cambridges, where they just can't stop looking at each other. Or is it they can't look at? Well, anyway, they can't stop or start or something. But those are those tender exchanges that they were referring to in the article in the Mirror. So, and of course, I'm not done yet. And then, of course, as they were leaving, William looks back to make sure she's not too close. He didn't bother to wait for her because, remember, he's got a thing. And so he turns to see where she is, and then he runs like hell to the door, and then he skips down the steps 2 and 3 at a time just to get away from her. Okay, you guys, there are 2 Sussex-friendly channels that the moderators have just shared. One is Church Deli has posted the official Lauren Brown, I think. And let me see. I was going to swap it out to, that is Sussex Global that I have, right? So let me change it to official Lauren Brown. Oh, well, okay. I'll do that later. I promise. Let me get on with it because I'm still running a bit behind. Okay. And so there you can see. And then how about this very pitiful glare? See that? As he glances at the camera like, Lord have mercy, help me out. Oh, man. Look at, yes, ASB, where is the body language experts at moments like this? Where are they? Oh, thank you much. Is it Casey Harris? Thank you so much for subscribing to our other Sussex-friendly platforms. And there you go. Baron, I just love to see these 2 Jezebels display such love toward one another. There's nothing like it. I promise you, there's nothing like it. No, seriously, I've never seen the likes of it before, especially when it comes to 2 wealthy, entitled people who will never have to work for a thing in their lives. All they have to do is show up. And of course, how about this one? Remember that? That was this the Tom Cruise night? I think that was a Tom Cruise night when Kitty wore the black and white and Tom Cruise helped her up the steps. And of course, when I say Kitty, I'm talking about Kate, not him. Oh, man. I need to make a shade alert slide. And then there's this one right here. Notice that, okay, let's do it in line of succession. William, Charlotte, and of course, George is with the nanny, and then Kate. One more time. William, Charlotte, George, the nanny, and then Kate, in that order. Interesting, isn't it? Princess of Wales, not being a royal is not easy. A really important part of it is staying humble. While I have perfected the art of keeping my distance from my husband, as protocol requires him to always be ahead of me, sometimes I also walk behind our nanny, as she is the one who with the most authority over our children. Oh, you guys, I'm starting to feel sorry for this family. I am. I am really starting to feel sorry for them. I wish my dearest brother-in-law's wife would understood the true importance of knowing a woman's place, seen but never heard. Yeah, I'm starting to feel sorry for all of them, including William. It's just so pitiful. Sheila Clemens McKay, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. But it's just so pitiful. I mean, it is. And it's just like, and Kate's doing her jazz hands and William is looking upon her with such disdain. They seem so ideally suited for one another that I'm so glad that they have each other. Oh, this is the second time that happened. Sheila Clemens McKay, I don't know if you meant to do that twice, but thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Well, that's 612 and that is 613. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. That's the second time I've seen that. And if it is a glitch in the system, I probably won't fix it. If it's a glitch in the system, I'm not gonna fix it. So y'all just be more careful. I If there is a glitch in the system, I'm not gonna fix it. Now, excuse me while I run out and go to the ATM so I can take $100 out. And then if there's a glitch in their system, I should be able to double my money in no time. That's weird. That just happened yesterday, but okay. Okay, thank you so much, Sheila. I appreciate it. Okay. And I was just kidding. I'm going to have that looked at immediately. I promise. As soon as I'm done here, and as soon as I make some dinner, and as soon as I make a couple of phone calls and finish listening to Ivy and watching the latest of the other content creators, and as soon as I lay down and go to sleep and then wake up and make my breakfast, and then I'm going to make sure I look at it. Okay. I'm going to get to it right away. Let me see. That answers my question about Doria. Meghan was insisting that Archie was her baby and not the institutions. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Shelley L, for pointing that out. Archie does not belong to an institution. He is a product of his parents, and that is Mama's little Archie, not the institution. So, yes, thank you so much for that. Okay. And also, I have to change the air in my spare tire tomorrow. And I think I am going to organize the medicine cabinet. And as soon as I'm done with all that stuff, I'm going to look into that little glitch on my computer that does that thing that it does. Oh man, I must be in a good mood today. All right, so if you look at the right side, you may notice that someone has corrected the images. Now, originally, that was some sullen, angry, disappointing rubber faced man and some big Farrah Fawcett hairdo wearing relic of the past. That's who those original photos were, but someone in the squad decided to have a little fun with it and they changed it. Now, I tell you, sometimes I like to edit photos. I wonder how long it took for the person that changed that photo, that edited that photo. How long did it take until they were satisfied that they found a picture of William looking sexy and alluring? You know what I'm saying? How long did it take? Is he trying to be, sexy and alluring and appealing? Is that what that look is? Because it seems to me like he just realized that he forgot to cut his toenails and he just punched a hole in a pair of expensive socks. That's what that look says. That look says that his underwear is riding up on him, that instead of wearing boxers, today would have been a good day for briefs. That's what that look says. That look says, I wonder if I hid my little black book before I left the house. That's the look that I'm getting right there. But it doesn't really say, gee, I find you quite fetching. I wonder where that photo came from, but that is funny seeing William try. Who knows what that actually comes from. Let me see here. Robin Amos says, pictures of Willie and Nilly. Willie and Nilly, I love that. Are so sad now that Queen Elizabeth II has transitioned. The impact of Willie and Nilly's future is slowly taking its toll on each of them. They ain't happy. No, of course they're not happy. Thank you so much for that, Robin. Willie and Nilly, I love that. And Marshall says, Baron, I will never feel sorry for them. Meghan wanted to delete herself, and Harry had to bury their unborn child on their land under a tree. Those unroyals will exact a horrible karma. Ancestors, of course. That's right. The ancestors will make sure of it. Marsha, please make sure I never get on your wrong side, because that was thorough. That was, ouch. That was thorough. But you know what? Every word of it is true. I look, I'm in agreement with you. Every word of it is true. They made the lives of the Sussexes hell. They did. And even today, in that vein, even today, I was thinking about how Harry thought that somehow that they were going to be a family, that he could finally be proud and hold his head up high and join in on some of these, royal obligations with his wife, and that he and his wife and his brother and his wife, they could all be a team. And what did William say? Harold, let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. How sad is that? How sad is that? To be that happy about being able to serve the king, the queen and country, and all of those things that seem so ridiculous right now. But it was important to Harry. And that's all he wanted to do. He wanted to be able to do the work and have a family. He always wanted to have a family. And they took that, at least they tried to take that away from him. They took all of the other stuff away. And then they were even willing to try to take the family away and keep him. They wanted to keep him in the cage and push his family away. Probably makes what they consider to be a fair restitution. You just stay over here and keep getting in trouble. Keep being the butt of the joke. That is what they wanted for him. Let me see here. Okay, let's move on. And I'm going to change the subject actually. Let me go back here 1 second first. Baron, Meghan is from LA. We do not do old-fashioned mute women. They can keep all that. Who shot John? We are loud and proud in Cali. I know that's right. Thank you so much, Reba Henderson. And let me see here. Did I forget? Let me see. Oh, Shelly L. Thank. Wait. Uh-oh. Thank you so much for your super chat. I was about to say, I think I broke my bell. And fortunately, I have a spare now. How cool is that? Oh, speaking of spare, hey, you guys that signed up for Dr. Matei and Prince Harry, did you guys get your books today? Because I got my book. I got my Dr. Matei and Harry session interview spare book. Remember, you get a spare when you sign up. I just got mine today. So let me know if you guys got your spares today, because if you didn't, you ought to look out for it, because I just got mine and I believe the UPS dropped it off. So thank you very much, Prince Harry and Dr. Matei. 3 days ago? Oh, wow, that's cool. Thank you. All right. Okay, Janet Lavallee has her book. Cool. Okay. Now, you guys, those images represents the migrants. And as you know, that has been the topic of a big conversation in the UK as of late. Now, I won't confess that I will confess I don't know a lot about it, but it's just like this. So Gary Lineker, he tweeted the other day. I mean, this came from deep within his consciousness. He said, "There is no huge influx. We take far fewer refugees than other major European countries. This is just an immeasurably cruel policy directed at the most vulnerable people in language that is not dissimilar to that used by Germany in the 1930s. And I'm out of order. So there you go. He said this on his Twitter, and for some reason that triggered the right wingers in the government, and they reached out to the right wingers that have been appointed or work for the BBC, which is supposed to be impartial and neutral. Well, obviously they are not, because what did they do? They suspended him. And by the way, the image in the profile picture there, I believe that is Pele. And so, I'm going to keep this very short because I don't know all the details, but it says here, Gary Lineker stands firm after Nazi Germany's slur. I'll continue to speak up for the voiceless souls. And then down there at the bottom, if that wasn't enough, check that out. It says, Gary Lineker, BBC presenter, refuses to be silenced after Nazi slur. So there it was twice on Talk TV's Twitter, and then they posted their tweet someplace else, which is why you see it twice. And so, okay, I saw that and I said to myself, I could fix that. I can fix that. Now, probably nobody else but Royal Sussex is going to see it, but there you go. I decided to take out that last part. Gary Lineker, BBC presenter, refuses to be silenced. I like it better now. So instead of after Nazi Germany slur, it's just refuse to be silenced. Job well done. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. But yeah, so the language used by Talk TV, you could imagine they were trying to incite hostility toward him by calling it a slur and language does matter. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to give out this sensationalized version of things so that any right-thinking person would think that he had done something wrong. It is a very subtle propaganda tactic after Nazi Germany slur. But no, it was just he refuses to be silenced. As you guys know, I have been talking about this topic for quite some time, and I have been saying it over and over again. To be a migrant, to be in crisis, to seek out the border of another country is not illegal. There's nothing illegal about being a migrant. A lot of people don't have documentation. A lot of people didn't have a chance to go to the consulate or the embassy and ask for any type of paperwork. Some people don't have time for that. You got to literally take everything you have and go. Look at all those people who left Russia with nothing but the clothes on their backs, dragging suitcases to the borders of neighboring countries to save their teenage son from being conscripted. Those are decisions that are made all the time in other countries by people that do not look like the typical Russian person. It happens in sub-Saharan Africa, in the Middle East, Northern Africa, Central and South America, the Caribbean. There's a lot of places where that happens. Eastern Europe, it happens, where people only take what they have. But, you know, I am very much liberal about the idea of immigration and migration. And, you know, there is a lot of wealth in the Northern Hemisphere, in the industrialized nations. And the only thing is that it's not so much that they don't want the people. They'll lay out the red carpet if you're from Ukraine. But if you are not Christian, if you have brown skin or anything like that, they don't want you. They'd rather have less qualified workers and watch their economy go down the drain than to allow a person of color or a different religion in. So thank you, Gary Lineker, for saying what needed to be said. Now, the Emily in Paris star, Lucien Labascant, if I'm saying it right, Labascant, he was asked about it, and he said very clearly, F the Tories, and stuck his middle finger up to the camera. So if you're a fan of Emily in Paris, you probably recognize him. That little stud muffin has taken Emily's heart on occasion, amongst other things. And so that was his response. It's kind of weird seeing someone English in America being asked a question like that when it's usually the Americans that they want to nail them down with some kind of opinion about the Sussexes. So very weird they didn't ask about Harry and Meghan. And of course, speaking of Rishi Sunak, there he is, and the other brown person, these two brown people that are doing everything they can to keep other brown people out of Britain. I don't know if it's self-hatred, ignorant, greed, or what it is, but all I can say is they found the right people to do it. Okay, inside Meghan and Sophie's up and down relationship. Give me a second, you guys. I got to have some water before I go on. Okay. New Duchess is relieved she won't have to curtsy to Harry's wife. Harry's wife. Are they really doing that? Harry's wife? After actress rejected her as a mentor and an awkward Commonwealth Day comment. Awkward Commonwealth Day comment? Who made a comment? Sophie, the former Countess of Wessex and the former owner of a disastrous PR firm that was so desperate for money that she made disparaging remarks about the royal family. She opened up her comments with, "My husband is not gay." That's Sophie. Sophie, anyway, who the hell cares? And inside Meghan and Sophie, oh, is that the same one? Yes, it is. I'm sorry about that. So, you guys, let me just say this. Sophie has come a long way. But what I was trying to show you here at the bottom is there was a time when they tried to compare Sophie to Princess Diana. There was a time when Sophie actually thought it wise to try to get a middle-aged woman with a belly like Skipper on Gilligan's Island, with that little stout, paunchy shape of hers, to try to get her to bring back the jumpsuit. That didn't work out either. And then, of course, for some reason, Sophie thought that she could create a style of her own. And this time, not the jumpsuits, but yes, she has somehow channeled Pharrell with that big lumpy hat of hers. I don't know what that hat was supposed to do. But anyway, as soon as I looked at it, I said to myself, well, if that's not Pharrell, I don't know what it's supposed to be. So there you go. Very strange lady, Sophie Wessex. And then right here, inside Meghan and Sophie's. All right, so that's the same one. But I want you guys to notice something. And because I was feeling a bit shady, I decided to go there. Now, the photo on the left, I want you to notice how they actually, they've done something to that photo. Do you see how bleached out and unusual Meghan's face looked? Out of all the photos that Meghan took the day of the Royal Ascot, where she actually tried to help Sophie when a bee or a wasp or something tried to attack her, look at what they've done to Meghan. They tried to find the most unattractive photo. I'm talking about the one on the left. They tried to find the most unattractive photo. And I said, let me go and look up Royal Ascot and see if I can find something better. So take a look on the right side. As you can see, that photo has obviously been photoshopped for the both of them. But on the left side, it seemed like they did something to try to, and I noticed that the tabloids do that a lot. They love to try and do stuff to Meghan to try to make her look older and less attractive. But since we're on the topic of Royal Ascot, take a look at this. That was Meghan at Royal Ascot, looking just as serene and elegant and beautiful, wearing that, I believe it's a Philip Tracy hat, looking absolutely lovely. And mind you, it is a very simple shirt dress, but Meghan wore it, which of course means it was elegant and very attractive on her. She belted it, and anyway, it looks absolutely wonderful. And then of course there's this one. I mean, Meghan riding in the carriage. There's Uncle Pennywise on the left, Harry on the right, and Sophie to her right side. So that was the day. Where they found that photo on the left, I mean, is that the only photo that you all could find? Something to try to deprive Meghan of her usual gorgeousness? I wouldn't hear of it. And so here's another few photos from that day. Harry being happy in the moment and feeling good about the fact that he finally, this was June of 2018, he finally has a wife to share in all of these official duties of his. And of course, this was at the time when they were still writing positive articles and almost being humane, even though there was a underscore going on, there was a subplot playing out. And then, of course, right here, God, do they look so young. Look at how the light just comes off of their faces. There's a certain glow that they have. It's called newlywed. And then I thought about it. I'm just like, now this is the other photo that they had in that particular magazine article, right? I think it was the Daily Mail. Now, I decided that if they are going to show us a photo to try to make Meghan look like she's subservient to the newly minted Duchess of Edinburgh, I decided, well, surely if you were to strip them of all their clothing and everything, uh, there is a side view of Sophie looking all frumpy and matronly and worn down and worn out from years of being broke and having to stick her hand out and ask the royal family for money. No wonder her posture is so bad. Whereas Meghan, who is self assured, beautiful, wealthy, self made, Meghan is able to stand up tall. Meghan is able to stand up tall and regal and you know what I'm saying? It's a difference. So if they wanted to bring that photo out so that they could try to make Meghan look like she's subservient to that matron, I decided, well, why don't I get some X-rays to depict them as they really are? One in the twilight of her years, and the other one still youthful and elegant and vibrant. So, what I'm trying to say is, if y'all want to go there, I'm going to go there too. And I told you guys, I don't take much pleasure in doing stuff like I'm just kidding, I do. But leave Meghan alone and I'll stop doing comparisons myself. So if you want to try to make Meghan look like she's playing second fiddle to matron Mama Morton, then I am going to find some x-rays to show you what's really going on underneath. So there you go. You guys are welcome. Oh man. It just goes to show you what years of healthy eating, yoga, and also having your own hard-earned income will do for you. One will make you stand upright and self-assured, and the other one just kind of hunches her shoulders forward and drops her head and hopes that Charles won't kick them out of their house. That's the difference. So there you go. Oh, you know that name, huh? Matron Mama Morton. Well, she does look like a prison matron. Ford Fiesta looks like she's a matron at a women's jail. She could have easily have played in that movie Chicago. Got a little favor I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama and she'll be nice to you. That's that song, Matron Mama Morton. Got a little motto, always see me through. You be good to mama and she'll be good to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Matron Mama Morton, Mountbatten-Windsor, Wessex, what's the other one? Edinburgh. That's who it is. Oh, man. So, listen, you know how they say underneath we're all the same? No, underneath, Meghan is this slender, elegant, ethereal-like figure, like a Grecian goddess. And if you stripped everything away, Sophie is Matron Mama Morton. So all this missing is all the keys to the jail cell. That's what's missing. Okay. And then, of course, there are queens, and you know what that means, you guys. When the queens make their appearance, that means that, oh, wait a minute. Are we done? Oh, no, I guess not. Not yet. Okay. I'll come back to our queens. Scotland could ditch the monarchy within 5 years. 5 years of independence and replace King Charles with an elected head of state. The Scottish National Party's Republican frontrunner, Humza Yousaf, declares. Now, if you guys haven't heard this yet, so of course, Nicola Sturgeon is stepping down, but this guy is the front runner for the leadership of the party, which would make him first minister because they are still part of the union of the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. They cannot have a prime minister of their own, I presume. So they have what they call a first minister. So he is in the running for that position. He's the front runner. And he says he will campaign to get rid of the English rather. And so somewhere, Nicola Sturgeon is having quite a laugh. And it's kind of funny because you almost never have seen her laugh. And so when I saw this photo, I guess this must have been when she found out that Humza was going to put in a bid and that he would take Scotland to independence. And maybe they have a little plan. Maybe that's why she stepped down, is so that, they won't use her political past against her. She said she's not going anywhere, that she's still a member of the party. She's just not going to be the first minister. So, and here is Charles' reaction when he found out not only that the new first minister wants to leave the union, but also fewer than 1 in 5 Canadians support country's continued monarchy status. That's right. Canada, oh, Canada, wants out of the colonial past. Oh, Canada, says Charles, you can kiss my... Anyway, once a year, research company and Glacier Media asked Canadians about the monarchy and the members of the royal family. In February 2021, the promotion of the country's residents who expressed a desire to have an elected head of state was about 45%, growing to 49% in February 2022. Well, it looks like that number has increased again. So now it is fewer than 1 in 5 Canadians support a continued monarchy as a head of state. Oh, by the way, thank you so much, MD, for the PayPal. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Monday to you. Oh, Canada. You know what? I just forgot that song. What was it? Anyway, I just kind of made that up on the fly, and now I can't remember what I just said. Anyway, it was something about kiss my behind. So, but yes, that's what they said. So sorry, Charlie. And as Hoghead Pierce Morgan would say, bleep, 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 that's all, Charles. That's all, Charles. Bleep, 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 that's all, Charles. Oh, man, I had fun with this today. Mirror and Express publishers warned that up to 420 staff are at risk of redundancy. Reach, which also owns Birmingham Mail, Liverpool Echo, and Manchester Evening News, aims to cut costs. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to cut costs. They are going to get rid of 420 staff people. So there you go, you guys. Thank you very much. I am done for sure this time. Remember, know your history. And this month is Women's History Month. So make sure you know your history. Learn about the extraordinary contributions of women here in the United States. And while we're at it, all over the world, but in the United States, it's officially Women's History Month. And so making history has been really making her story, because behind every great man, what do they always say? Behind every great man, there is always a great woman. So learn history, her story, and you'll know all shall be revealed. And here is one of my favorite images of Harry, so proud of his wife when they had the cookbook released and they had the women of the Hub Kitchen come to Kensington Palace, and Doria was there. And well, anyway, as you know, the palace saw the unity and saw the love and the connection, and they saw the echoes of Diana. And well, we all know what happened. But the good news is that they are all healthy and happy in California, and so are the children, the children. So thank you very much. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your generous contributions. Thank you for whoever sent the bell. I haven't had a chance to read the slip that came with it, but I will send a personal thank you if possible. And thank you to my friend in, I think it's Houston, Texas, or is it outside of Houston, Texas, for your generosity. I don't want to say your name, but you have been very kind. I'm enjoying all of the stuff that you had sent me, the highly collectible African wear. It is beautiful, and it is part of my living room. So I hope to share some images with you directly very soon. So, and that's that. Oh, thank you, Ivy out. Thank you, Ivy. And thank you, Lauren Brown. I didn't get a chance to put your link up. Let me see. Did you just have something today or yesterday? Oh, you got something coming out, right? Wait, don't help me. I'll find it. I will find it because I think you have something in the works. Let me see. I got this. Nobody help me. Upcoming 3:15, 11 a.m. Let me get the link for that. Okay, so this is the next Lauren Brown production, and it is arriving tomorrow. Let me get back to Royal Sussex so I can find it. All right, and then I'll post it. Okay, there we go. Oh, you know what, guys? I've been talking so much. Guess what? My very tender gums are not bothering me anymore. So there you go. Lauren Brown's link is at the top of the chat. Feel free to click on that link. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right? Don't forget to do that. Please support these Sussex-friendly channels because it is so key and so important that we keep this community going for our faves. Also, you guys, if you go to my community tab, you can find, I haven't ordered my Hub Central Kitchen cookbook yet, but it's not coming out until September, so there's plenty time for that. So occasionally, I am sure I'm going to remind you guys about it again. And that is when I will do something like order my copy of the book. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. Good night, Myra. I am off to bed shortly, as well as it is nearly midnight in the UK. Angel A, thank you for staying up with us. I really appreciate it. So kind of you. Dara Edgehill says, stay safe, everyone, and God bless and protect our faves and all of us. You know what? That looks like a last word to me. So that will be the last for today. And then let's get, let me highlight that first. And then let's get back to our faves, which should have been the last. But I think I'm going to keep those together like that. I like that. So someone had been asking me to do that for the longest, and I'm only just now getting around to it, which means, you know what? The memberships to Royal Sussex is only $4.99. And it is probably going to take me at least a year before changing to those different levels seems so complicated. I couldn't be bothered. Uh, all that level 1 and level 2, and anybody could look at me could tell I am completely unleveled. So as I am unbalanced and unleveled, then so shall Royal Sussex. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you. All right. And with that, you guys, 2 hours and 7 minutes, not bad. See, I haven't had one of them 3-hour marathons in a couple of weeks. I intend to try to shave a little time off as we go along. I don't know where did I find all this stuff to talk about? I just started pulling slot, and especially this person here. And you know, guys, I'm probably being a little heavy-handed with. No, I'm not, because I can't stand her. But anyway, see, I'm in such a good mood. I'm almost forgiving people that I have been routinely dragging for the past couple of years. But anyway, so toodles, I'm off. Thank you so much. Thank you, Devera Owens. Greatly appreciate it. All right, that's it then. All right, let me stop looking, because then I'll be on here another half hour. All right, love you guys, and let's cue the Ginger Avenger, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you, and good night. Cue Ginger Avenger. Go Ginge. Where are we? And go. What is that? You're supposed to rub some, is it tequila? Are you supposed to rub tequila on your gums? or is it Jack Daniels? It's something you're supposed to rub on your gums when they're a little sore. You're supposed to rub a little vodka on your gums, and then you take a little sip. Then you rub some more vodka on your gums, and then you mix a little orange juice with it and stir it up. Drink that, and then whiskey. Okay, a whiskey sour. That's right. You're supposed to rub a little whiskey on your gums, and then make a whiskey sour. Put some crushed ice in it, maybe a twist of lime, and then you drink that cocktail while you're massaging your gums, right? And if that doesn't work, then you could probably have a rum and coke, and you rub a little rum on your gums. And okay, I guess I'm going out tonight. I'm just kidding. I'm not going out. Actually, yeah, it's so weird. My gums are not bothering me. When I first started talking, I'm like, my goodness, it's kind of sore, but that has gone away, so that's good. Yeah. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And let me see what type of beverages I have for my gums. Yeah, for my gums. Okay. Good night, all.